Hello friends, now we will start Newton's law of motion. First of all, we will see two states of any object. First, rest. Second, in motion. Okay. Now, if we are saying any body in rest, then it is with respect to any point. Suppose if I can have any example. Suppose this is the car and A and B two person are in this car. This car is going in this way. Okay. Suppose C is the third person who is outside the car. Now A and B both are in motion with respect to C. Okay. But if we'll talk about A, then A will be in rest with respect to C. Means if A want to see the B, then the B's position will not changing with respect to A. So A means A and B both are in rest with respect to each other. Okay, means A will see B is like it is not moving, and B will feel that A is not moving. But both these are both these persons are moving with respect to C. Okay, now we will define inertia. Inertia is the property of any object due to which it opposes any change in its state. Okay, this property is due to the mass of object. By a simple example, if I can say, suppose a this is stable, suppose this is stable and an object is there. This object will not move without any force. Means suppose at t time this object is on this table, then after some time it will also be in this it will also be on the same position. Means without any force this will not change its position. Okay, this is why, because a force mg is here due to its weight, and same reaction will be here. Now this will be due to the surface of this table. Okay, now if we'll see Newton's first law says about the Newton's first law says about the in about the change in its in the about the change in the object's motion or in its state. It says that when external force on any body is zero, when F external is zero, then object which is in rest will keep in will be in the rest. Okay, or if an object which is moving, then it will keep moving with the when F external is 0. Means if an object is in rest, then if you want to move the object, you will have to apply any external force or any force. But and similarly, when an object is in motion, and if you want to stop that object, then you will have to apply some force on that object. Okay, now the example of this law you can see in your daily life. Suppose first example, when you are in the bus, and if drivers apply the brake, then you will move ahead. Okay, man, move ahead. Okay, in the direction of the motion. Why? Because when the brake is applied, then the legs of the man comes into the rest, but the upper part of the body is continuously moving, so it goes ahead for some time, and obviously we will move ahead in that case. Similarly, the second example is that in suppose this is the glass and there is a cardboard. A coin is on the top of on this cardboard. Now, when you will push the cardboard fastly from this glass, then what will happen? This coin will be down the glass. Okay. when you will push this, okay, and this cardboard is removed fastly. Okay, but when you will remove this cardboard slowly, then the coin will move along this cardboard, because the coin will get some force, and the force will be get transferred to the coin. So when you will move this cardboard fastly, then the coin will be in the glass. Now we will come to the momentum. Momentum is the property of any object which defines its speed, or which defines its mass and its speed's combined effect. Okay, it also defines its momentum, also defines its striking or hitting intensity. Okay, now this is simply denoted by p, and this is multiple of mass and velocity. Okay, vector is velocity is vector, so momentum will also be vector. If we can find the unit of this, then mass is in kg, velocity is in meter per second, so this is the unit of momentum. Now we will come to the second law. Okay, second law tells us about the force applied on any object. It tells that F external applied to any object will be proportional to the change rate of momentum. Okay, here's delta P is what? Delta P is change in momentum, and delta T the time interval in which change takes place. Okay, now an constant is added here. F is equal to K delta P and delta T. K is taken 1, so F external will be equal to delta P by delta T. Now we know that P is what? mv, so delta P will be what? M into delta V, means mass will be remain constant at any time. Suppose velocity is changing, then also mass is constant, so delta P will be M into delta V. So M, now M delta V upon delta T is what? Simply acceleration. So this is F external. Obviously F is a vector quantity because P is also vector. So moving like this is acceleration. Acceleration is also vector quantity. So F external will be equal to ma. This is simply F equal to ma. This is the second law of Newton's motion second law. Now if we can define the force by this, then force is simply the multiplication of mass and acceleration. Okay, now if we come to the unit of the force, mass is in kg, for acceleration is in meter per second square. So the unit will be, this is the basic unit of any force, and this is called Newton. Okay, on the name of the scientist Newton. Now we'll come to the third law of Newton's motion. According to third law, each action has an equal and opposite reaction. This is the third law. Okay, or we can say that if any actions takes place, then if we will apply any force on any other body, then equal and opposite force is applied to the same body. Suppose the example of this is like an object is lying on this table. Now suppose it has mass m, then the force applied by the block on the table will be what? Mg. Now this force will try to move this block downward, but still the block is in its position, means it is not moving downward. Why this is possible? Means it is because that this force will be balanced out some another force. Now this force is what? This force is the normal force which is applied by this table on the block, means like this force applied by the block on the table. Now if I can draw the free body diagram of the block, force, this block is applying mg. Now the force which is being applied on this block, which is what? It is normal force by the table, and this is like this. Okay, this is the normal force, and this will balance the weight. So this force will be equal to n mg. So normal force cancel out or simply balance out. If I can simply say this phenomenon according to the third law, the block is applying any force mg on the table, then the table is also applying the same amount of force in form of normal force to balance out the block. So this is known as action and reaction law. Now some rules about this law is that simply f a to b means if a and b are two objects, this a is applying any force on B is FAB, then simply FBA will also be equal in the magnitude. Means same force will be applied by the second object on the first object. Second, direction of reaction force is opposite to the action force. If I can say that mg is downward, then normal is where? Mg is action and it is downward, but n normal is upward. Okay. Now the third property about this law is that action and reaction always appears in pair. Okay. Means if there is any action, then there will also be reaction, but if there is not any action, then the reaction will not be there. Means if I can say that each action has an equal and opposite reaction, this is the Newton's third law. Okay, fourth point about this law is that action and reaction works on the different object. Okay, suppose here in this formula the action is on table. Okay, action is on table, and by which? By the block, but the same reaction force is on block, and by which? By table. So this is the basic introduction about the Newton's first, second and third law. In the next lecture we will think on the some next phenomenon. Okay, thank you.